Right now, former President Donald Trump's plane remains at Palm Beach International Airport, which means Trump is likely at Mar-a-Lago right now. Our Steve King joins us from PBIA with what experts say would be the next steps if Trump is indicted. Steve?
Well, yeah, Donald Trump's plane has been here since at least Monday afternoon, meaning that the former president and current 2024 presidential candidate is most likely at Mar-a-Lago right now. We have seen some activity around his plane today, but so far no signs of Trump here at the airport. But experts say that if he were to be indicted even today, we most likely wouldn't find out about it until later, because it's possible that Trump could strike a deal with prosecutors about a surrender date at a later time.
It still looks like they're moving towards an indictment, and if they do indict, it looks like it's going to be relatively soon.
Former DOJ Criminal Division trial attorney Richard Serafini says it appears the grand jury is at or near the end of its presentation, but it's possible the public would not find out about a possible indictment until Trump actually turns himself into authorities in New York.
If there's an indictment, it's not going to be announced at the moment the grand jury indicts it. So what you're really looking for is some indication, him flying to New York, a leak coming out of either his camp or the prosecution camp. But there probably will not be anything official in terms of an announcement.
Serafini says even if a surrender deal is struck today, Trump could agree to turn himself in sometime next week. But everything still depends on if and when there's an indictment.
And at this point, I think everybody's pretty much just waiting to see what happens next.
Experts say if Trump is indicted and surrenders, he likely will not spend time in jail or be forced by the New York police to wear handcuffs, though he would have to get fingerprinted, get his mugshot taken, and appear before a judge in criminal court. Now, it's also possible that Trump would charter a different plane to New York if he were to surrender himself to authorities, but this is the jet that Trump flies in most of the time. Also, it's important to note that Trump has a campaign stop for his 2024 presidential bid this weekend in Texas, so even if this plane were to leave PBI, it's not necessarily on its way to New York. Reporting live in West Palm Beach, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.